What's going on, everyone? E-Man here from the C-List Villains podcast, and today we're talking New Comic Book Day, March 10th, 2021. Before we get started, make sure to like this video, click that subscription button, hit that notification bell, that way you get notified anytime new videos drop. On the show today, I have a special guest all the way from the slums of San Diego, the Wu-Tang Clan of Comic Book Podcast, Team Nerd Herd's very own Ian, aka Hood Rat Comics, is going to come by and hang out with me today, and we're talking New Comic Book Day, March 10th, 2021. I wonder what his top 3 picks are going to be. Also, I co-host the C-List Villains podcast. New episodes drop every Saturday on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. Most interview episodes are also on our YouTube channel. Remember, the C-List Villains, cultivators of the comic culture. So, man, we're going to be talking about our top 3 picks for New Comic Book Day, March 10th, 2021. I know you and I ended up talking a little bit about our picks, but man, let's go ahead and share with everyone on the channel. Let's go ahead and talk about what our top 3 picks are, and let's see if we can convince people to maybe scoop some of these up and maybe get some back issues. How about that?
Just do it, man. If you want to do it right, collect what you like. That's what we talk about over on Team Nerd Herd, man.
Exactly.
So, like, buy the books you like, because these are the books we like.
Exactly.
I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna read them regardless if they're on, any top 10 show. Just, get those books you love, man, and read them.
And I absolutely love that tagline you guys got, man. So
it is, man. It's a dope one.
It is. All right, so let's go ahead and start with your number 3 pick, man. So what's number 3 for next week? What are you picking it up?
I'm picking Joker number 1, man. It's written by Tinian or Tinian or Tinianian, whatever you want to call him.
Tynion.
Tynion, or there's 4 different ways to say his name, but it's it. I'm into him, man. Like I just love his writing. I didn't read any of the future states because Batman was on a hiatus for that time, and Tinian's back on 106, man. And he has whatever her name is, Molly or.
Yeah, Molly something, Molly Marble or something.
Molly Marble, whatever her name is. But she's dope though, man. It's the story started out really well. Mm-hmm. I could hear the soundtrack from the Batman, the last Batman that came out, the last Batman movie. Those 3 with what's his name, the cow.
With Bane.
With Bane, yeah. I could hear that music, that Nolan music.
Oh,
the Nolan soundtrack.
You know what?
Christopher Nolan soundtracks, bro. When you know how Christopher Nolan's soundtracks are so loud you can't even hear people speak. Yeah. He does that shit on purpose. Like, I could hear it, man. Really looking forward to what he got in store with Joker. Maybe they're gonna bring Punchline back, man. We all love Punchline, man, but I'd love to see her back in Joker too.
Well, I guess we are gonna get something because Punchline is supposed to be in Joker 1. Because I also have Joker 1 as one of my picks for next week. Here, let me give a little synopsis of this. This is written by James Tynion IV with art by Mirka Andolfo and Gilliam March. So we're gonna get some top end quality art out of this book. There's a bunch of different variant covers. So before I get into the synopsis, which ones are you picking up?
I'm picking up the J. Scott and Matina, man. The J. Scott is dope, man. She just opened up her jacket and Punchline, she has all her knives and all that stuff. And then Matina's Matina, man. You can't go wrong with Matina.
You can never go wrong with Matina. I gotcha. I personally, I love the horror aspect that John Jang brings to a lot of these covers. So I'm going with John Jang and John Boy Myers. And honestly,
John Boy.
Yup, friends of the show now. I guess we can say that. Friends of the C-List Villains podcast. So we're going to show support. So I've already put my orders in for both of them. Let me go ahead and read the synopsis. So following the events of Infinite Frontier number 0, the Joker's the most wanted man in the world. But the clown prince of crime is several steps ahead of law enforcement, and he's on the run overseas. James Gordon, facing retirement, realizes that this is the manhunt of his life and the last piece of a storied career. But what mysterious and deadly forces are also in pursuit of the Joker? This sounds wild. There's a bunch of people after the Joker, not just law enforcement, but someone else outside of law enforcement. Who could that be? With James writing, I know we're gonna get a solid story. What do you think is gonna happen?
Bro, I'm hoping to see my favorite characters like the Ghost, the Clown Hunter, and what's his name, the Ghost
Ghostmaker.
Maker.
Ghostmaker.
Dude, Ghostmaker's in 106 too, bro. He's dope, man. Like, I want to see all these new characters, how they flush into the Joker. You know, let's see it, man. I want to see the character growth. I want to see the development. I want to see the new arcs in there, and how they came to be and where they're gonna go. Because Tinian has this all planned out, man. You know, like Tinian's off the hook with Department of Truth, with Something's Killing the Children. He's doing an awesome work, and like, I mean, he has hold of Batman. Come on, man, like. Let's go. You know,
it's funny too, because I was watching an interview that James Tynion had with Ross Ritchie, and he was saying that technically did you know that his very first piece of work ever professionally done was a Batman New 52 storyline? Like, that was his first thing. People have to go through the ranks. You have to start in the minors, work your way up to the majors. This guy got this, he got recruited from the stands to come up and say, hey, you know what? I need you. Come on, help me. Like, Scott Snyder pretty much asked him to help him co-write one of the New 52 Batman. So James Tynion's got a lot of work with Batman. So there's no reason why he cannot go wrong with anything Batman-centric.
Yep.
That's our number one pick. All right, I said number 3. Let's go ahead and start from the top. All right, that's our number 1 picks right there. Ian and I go with Joker number 1. What about number 2, my friend? What's number 2 for you?
Daredevil number 28, man. Like, in my opinion, man, no Marvel series is better than Daredevil right now, man. What's going on with our boy Daredevil and what's going on in the whole story? Like, even the time with the King in Black was sick, you know. And the covers have been fantastic, man. Like, like it's Elektra. Come on, man. Like, like just the way, just the art on Elektra is just sexy, man. She's just, when I think it was a couple issues ago when she was walking through the prison, all the guys behind the bars were just kind of like, catcalling her, and she's like, "Don't fuck with me."
Yeah.
You don't want to fuck with this. Let me go find Matt. He's the only one that can mess with this. So.
And it's now, here's the thing. I wish I had started. Now I'm gonna have to go back and look for the trades. I do want to start this Chip Zdarsky run of Daredevil because I've heard nothing but good things about it. I know a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, Team Nerd Herd, and matter of fact, you even said and pointed out that Daredevil 25 was the FOMO pick of the week back then. And to be honest with you, I did jump on that. I was lucky enough to score 1 copy of that. So I do have Daredevil 25, but also I haven't read the run. So could you tell me a little bit about the Chip Zdarsky run of Daredevil?
It's just, it's Daredevil dipping his dipstick in the wrong places, man. It's Matt Murdock, doing his thing, man. The self-loathing Matt Murdock that we all love, man, getting in trouble. And what's really cool is Fisk, man, is, Kingpin, bro. Kingpin's, he's the mayor of New York now, man. He's the mayor of Hell's Kitchen, like, and just watching how that all happens, man, and how Elektra kind of like goes from like, taking advantage of Matt to being, the only person that has his back. It's dope, dude. And right now Matt murdered somebody. He killed somebody. Now he's in jail, and now he got freed because he got nullified.
He got nullified.
He got nullified. And he's a strong dude, man. He's able to like sort of control what was going on, man. And now we got Elektra, who's taking over the Daredevil mask, and keeping Hell's Kitchen safe as possible, man. While Matt's up in there in jail, But the whole thing about that I love about what's going on in the arc now is just like Elektra coming terms with her morality, her own morality in regards to like, how she's always just trying to get over on people and always like looking out for herself. But now she's not only looking out for herself, but she's also looking out for Hell's Kitchen, and she's looking out for Matt and trying to work his morality into hers, because Matt's just like black and white. He's like either you're a good guy, or you're bad. There's no gray. Like that's the one thing about Matt, right? Like he has that real strong moral path. Elektra doesn't, man. Elektra's just like all about me. I'm all about to get that money, and whoever it takes, even the person that I love the most, which is Matt. If I have to go through him, I have to go through him, man. But now Elektra has to fight that, right? She has to be more like Matt and think about the good, not only about her. She can't even think about herself because Matt never thinks about himself, man. He's always putting Hell's Kitchen before everything, you know, and now she has to do that too, you know, and she just got past that with, you know, with what's going on with Noel, you know, so I'm looking forward to like what's going to happen after the whole like, and I just really enjoyed how Zdarsky kind of like brought in Noel, you know, the whole King in Black thing.
Yeah.
But it didn't but it didn't take away from the story, man. The tie-in didn't take away from the story. It's like she's still finding that morality, you know, like she's still like trying to fight in the right path, the straight and narrow path that Matt tried to stick into, but you know, he always falls off and comes back to. And you can see her doing that too, man. She's always kind of going out and coming back, you know. And I like that struggle that's going on with her, and I enjoy Zdarsky's like making her character even deeper, you know. So
that's funny how a lot of the, you know, female characters in comic books have gone down that path. I mean, we have Elektra, who's going down that moral path. We have Harley, even to a point. Sometimes you have Black Cat. You know, a lot of the women who are bad or bad women at one point, now they're trying to find that moral ground, and it's I don't know if I like it or dislike it. I'm indifferent. I'm definitely noticing it, that a lot of the strong female villain-ish type characters are starting to turn that leaf. I'm just hoping that it enhances the storyline, and it sounds like with Daredevil, Elektra turning the way she is, sounds like Zdarsky is making the story better, which if no one's reading Daredevil, based off of what you just said right now, I'm all about it now. I'm gonna go back and try to find those trades, and I'm gonna make me earn that Daredevil 25 that I have in my collection, you know.
But you know, that's the thing always with Daredevil, man. Like it's the, you know, keeping the morality of like keeping in line with morality, right? Like in Daredevil always is fighting like, you know, like should I kill people? Should I not? Should I trust? Even if they're bad, should I trust them? Like, I love this person, but you know, Hell's Kitchen comes first. You know, it's like trying to stick to that line, and that's what I love about, you know, Daredevil. And I love the way Zdarsky gives the feel of Hell's Kitchen, man. Because it feels dark and dungy. It feels super urban, man. If you could smell the piss in the corner when you walk in the streets with Daredevil, or flying around with Elektra right now, it's a great story, man. And you know, Fisk right now is, you know, the Kingpin, the character development in him and the way he's trying to deal with morality himself, like being the Kingpin now, he has to look out for, you know, Hell's Kitchen and everything else, you know. Like it's a whole real, like it's a lot like more fuller story than most Marvel books, you know. More Good. You know, because you look at some of Kate's stuff, it's just like bang bang, you know, like bang bang boom boom bang bang, you know, like there's not much development going on.
Depth.
Except for
it
Eddie
sounds
Brock,
like there's a lot more,
you know?
depth.
But the Eddie Brock, let's give Kate's, man, some props, man. He gave Eddie Brock some depth, you know.
Yeah, he did.
But not as much as like Zdarsky's given depth to all the characters, especially the main characters, man. You know, and I also enjoy Cole North in there, man. He's a dope. He's a really great addition that started from issue 1, man. He's a dope cop. So.
Let me read the synopsis for Daredevil 28. It's written by Chip Zdarsky. Art is by Marco Cacchetto. The Black Kitchen, Part 3. A new Daredevil rises to protect Hell's Kitchen. Matt Murdock is a killer, but he's serving his time as the masked vigilante called Daredevil. Hell's Kitchen has suddenly been left without a guardian devil, or was, until Elektra took it upon herself to protect Murdoch's neighborhood and his legacy as the new Daredevil, but she's already got her work cut out for her. Wilson Fisk remains seated as New York's mayor, with Typhoid Mary, the Owl Hammerhead, and other lethal and familiar foes at his beck and call. So it sounds like Elektra's got, she has a lot of things that she needs to work on right there.
Typhoid Mary in this run too, I forgot about her, adding depth to her, and her loyalty to Fisk is dope, man. Nice. You know, just the way she showed up, like I think it was like in issue 20, man, or 19, one of those, man. It's just like oh shit, Zdarsky's just like, whatever, I'm just doing whatever I want, man, to
exactly.
make the story better for my readers, man. So I enjoy that, man. So
let me get into my number 2. So my number two pick for next week is Deep Beyond 2 from Image Comics, written by Mirka Andolfo and David Goy. Art is by
Mirka's writing it?
Mirka's writing it, yeah.
Whoa.
Art is by Andrea Bricardo, and variant covers by Marco Cacchetto and Dan Panosian. So yeah, Mirka sounds like she's the superstar of today's show, because she's writing both, she's writing Deep Beyond, and she's also has some pencils in The Joker. Let me read this off. Paul hasn't recovered from the mysterious Jolene's shocking resemblance to Pamela, and for the meek and fearful scientist, the situation is already getting worse. The scary sea monsters who rushed them seem to be unbeatable. Will they find a way to survive? Outside help will be needed, and luckily they will make some new friends who will help them survive. And in the meantime, Pam is still trapped in the deep ocean. So there's a lot going on with this book. So issue 1, it pretty much introduces the characters. You have your environment. You have scientists in a deep ocean trying to find a cure for a disease that's pretty much wiping out the earth. You have people up top on Earth who live in these bubbles, these secured bubbles, who are protected from the outside world, which is pretty much poisonous. And then you have these bioterrorists who are pretty much trying to fuck shit up right there. This story is quite interesting to me because of a different direction that it's going with a virus type storyline a la The Walking Dead. But with Mirka Andolfo's writing, it's taking a different direction where people actually need a little bit more help with each other. So they're forcing people to pretty much help each other that are maybe outside of like the normal status that those people would help each other. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's a very interesting book. I ended up picking up number 1. I got the John Jane covers for that one also. And dude, this is, if you're into indie books, this is only number 2, and it's something that I recommend anyone trying to start with, because this one is written by Mirka. Come on, you can't go wrong with something like that. So Deep Beyond number 2 is my number 2 pick for next week, man. And like I said, Mirka, if you know Mirka's work, you gotta jump on this one, man.
Oh, when you said Mirka, I was sold, man. Like, I'll pick up a copy, man. I'll give Mirka a chance. Because, you know, her art's always dope, you know, and her writing's going to be dope. And the same, and there's also art with the same guy that's doing Daredevil, right?
Yep. Marco Ciccato, he's the one who's doing one of the variant covers, who's doing the interiors for Daredevil. So man, see there, I don't know who the superstar is, whether it's Marco or if it's Mirka of this episode, but those
I gotta
two,
say,
man.
but Ciccado's art in Daredevil is dope too, man. The way he draws Elektra is fucking fire, man. You know,
nice.
Like, so it's gonna translate into this, man. You know, so.
I'm sold, man. I really need to go back and get those Daredevils for sure. All right, number 3, Ian. What's your number 3 pick for next week?
My number 3 pick is Star Wars number 12, man. And in this book, we're gonna find out the origin of Kes Dameron and Shara Bay.
Ooh.
And before I even get into it, man, if you guys really want to try and find, their first appearance, man, you're not gonna find it in this book, but you're gonna find it in this old school book over here, Shattered Empire, Star Wars, man. So check that book out. And you want to know what? Who their son is? The one and only, man, Poe Dameron, man.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so they're totally expanding on this side of the universe with this one right here.
Yeah, but Kes and Shara have been in a lot of books, man. They've been in a lot of books in Shattered Empire. And it goes well with what's going on in his story, because like with this new run of Star Wars, and I think it's Soul, right? Soul's right in this book, right? Soleil or whatever.
Yeah, Charles Soleil, and art by Ramon Rosales.
Yeah, they're just he's really he's building a foundation of like the trauma that happened in Empire Strikes Back, and you know, Luke figuring out who his father was, you know, him losing his hand, them losing Han, you know. So a lot of this is a lot of the story is based on like them trying to find Han Solo, and Luke just trying to discover himself, you know, and trying to become the Jedi that he needs to be in Return of the Jedi.
So are these Star Wars books, these ones right here, are they canon?
They're all canon, man.
They're all canon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This is a Marvel book right here, so that's canon. You know,
okay.
So.
And
I mean, what is canon though? Because everything in Dark Horse is becoming canon now. So it's like, you know, it's like kind of.
It depends on how it gets written in, right? It's you know, because a lot of more casual Star Wars fans, they've heard that there's certain things that don't tie in with certain books, and for those Star Wars fans who want to start reading new stories or getting more familiar, or getting background stories for familiar stories that they already know, picking up this Star Wars 1 through 12 run is a good way to continue the storyline within the movies that they've watched, while also getting a new and fun adventure out of it, right?
Oh yeah, but you got to pair Star Wars 12 with Vader. What's going on in Vader? Because both of them kind of they connect. They connect because you're seeing the trauma that happened to Darth Vader, and what's going on with him, him and knowing that his son's out there, and this whole wrestle between like the dark and light, right? That's going on with him. It actually comes out in Return of the Jedi. Yeah. So it's kind of giving these, it's moving towards that way, in a way that actually works with the movies, and you have Luke, who's trying to become a Jedi, but he has to go through himself first, right? Yeah. Before he gets to that part where he's that badass, how can I say, mother effer, that we saw up in the last episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like that, he's becoming that dude now, Yes. So it's like, it's a great. I think Marvel's doing it right. They got the right writers. I think Soleil is doing an excellent job on Star Wars 12 because, man, I wasn't really interested in the Aaron stuff. I just put it out there. Like Aaron's a great writer, man. He wrote one of my favorite series. But Soleil though. Soleil, man. Soleil's he's killing it.
He's the one that's killing it. Here, let me read the synopsis for Star Wars 12. So it is written by Charles Soleil. Art is by Ramon Rosales. Operation Starlight Part 4. So this is a Part 4 to a storyline. Reflections on the lost Leia Organa and Kez Dameron share stories of their lost loves. Learn how Poe Dameron's parents met. Oh shit, it's right there. They tell you right there in the synopsis. Learn the real reason Han Solo is so important to the rebellion. Oh, so it dives deeper into Han's story beyond what we see in the movies.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of what's going on is the loss and trauma that incurred when Leia lost Han, and Lando trying to become that going from a hustler to becoming a general in Return of the Jedi, because he's still the hustler. Yeah. He's still the hustler we love, man. Yeah. I love the hustler in Lando, but he's moving towards becoming that general and making things right. So get it, man. Just if you're a Star Wars fan, we all know it's all Marvel time, right? It's all WandaVision, now it's Falcon and Winter Soldier. But the real Star Wars fans, they know what's up, man. They're reading this book, so
Okay, I got to go back and find those. And see it, and I love Star Wars the movies. I even liked the sequels. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get shit for that right there, but the only thing with the sequels for me is that if it wasn't a part of the Skywalker saga, personally, I think it would have been better. But because it was forced upon us that this was a Skywalker saga, I understand why a lot of people hated them. But if there are stories out there that can fill the gap within this whole Star Wars universe that we all grew and love, for people out there watching this, man, jump on it, learn more, start a new, like I said earlier, start a new adventure based off of an old adventure that you loved. And it sounds like a lot of these filling the gap type stories that Marvel is pushing out is something every real Star Wars fan, or even casual Star Wars fan, really should jump on, right?
Yep, true that. Yep.
Gotcha. All right, well, let me go ahead and give you my number 3 pick. So like I told you earlier, I'm really into indie books. Marvel and DC, for the most part, they've passed me up. I didn't start the X-Men stuff back in the day. I didn't start any of the Avengers, Justice League stuff back in the day, but I do like and enjoy reading comics. So I stick mostly with indie. And if I can get, if someone can talk to me and tell me about cool stories like Daredevil and Star Wars, I'm definitely going to pick them up because I've been introduced to them. I like starting indie books at number 1, not just because of the whole spec. Oh, it's a number 1. It might be a movie. We're not going to do that. I just like starting stories from the beginning. And a lot of the indie books, they do have an end. Recently, Gideon Falls was one of my favorite reads. 27 issues in, and it's finished. I like stuff like that. So if I can start a story from the beginning, I definitely will. So this one coming up, my number 3 pick is Proctor Valley Road #1 from Boom Studios. And even you guys mentioned on Team Nerd Herd once that, hey man, anything that says Boom Studios on it, you need to pick it up, right?
Yep. Any number 1, man.
Let me entice more people with this. This one is co-written by Alex Child, and superstar great Grant Morrison. So this is a Grant Morrison book on Boom Studios. This is art by Naomi Franquez, cover arts by Christian Ward and Peach Momoko. Let me read you the synopsis for this one right here. Have you read Paper Girls or Die?
I've read Die.
Okay,
I read the first couple issues of Paper Girl, but Die's dope.
All right, so perfect fans for Paper Girls and Die, Boom Studios presents a chilling new horror series about the mysterious monsters that haunt Proctor Valley Road and the 4 misfit teenagers who must stop them. Oh, dude, this is another book about kids needing to stop monsters. We've heard of another Boom book that's done that, and look what's going on with that one, right?
Yep.
When their visit turns deadly, these four friends race to rescue the missing students before the town tears them limb from limb. Now they must slay the evil roaming Proctor Valley Road, along with monsters lurking in the hearts of 1970s America. Boom, kids, monsters, I'm sold. Grant Morrison, one of the great writers in comic book history, he's writing this. I'm sold. So and it's a number 1 again. Well, we're not specking, it's gonna be a movie. No, we're not doing that, but it's a number 1 is from Boom. No reason why nobody shouldn't pick this book up.
Yeah. But I mean, we're kind of specking, man, because you got to pick that number 1 up for any Boom, bro. They got that deal with Netflix, don't they, man? So you already know.
They have a deal with Netflix. They even have a deal with Disney Plus. We did speak to Ross. That interview will be coming up shortly. Well, he'll let everyone know a little bit more about what's coming up with that. But yeah, man, Boom. They're honestly, anything Boom is releasing, they're pretty much hitters at the moment, almost everything that they're releasing. Have you picked up any of the Abbott books?
I have, but I'll be honest, I haven't read it yet, man.
So
I got my Frizen cover. That's anything Frizen comes out with, bro. Like, it's gonna be in my pool, and I'm gonna buy it.
I know we talked about that. Frizen's up there, like Matina's up there, like J. Scott Campbell's up there. You just gotta
get that Frizen right behind you, bro.
You see that? You see that? Where is she? Where is she? Right there. There she is.
That's my draw by my girl and my girl, man, Erica.
Exactly. Yeah. See that? And I had to have that up for Ross. He needed to see how this is all Boom centric, but yeah, dude, Boom's doing wonderful things, and I'm looking forward to Proctor Valley Road for 2 reasons. 1, it's a brand new story. It sounds creepy and horror-ish, and 2, I see the name Grant Morrison, and I'm expecting like a high quality written book. And Ross is not gonna allow anybody to do anything less than their best, so I'm expecting the best from this book right here.
I'm looking forward to it too, man. Anything Boom, let's go,
Exactly.
And like at Team Nerd Herd, man, we don't just tell you guys we buy the books. It's the books that we want. Yeah. Like, I know you're gonna buy it. Like, we just not telling you to buy it. It's just books we're gonna buy.
Exactly. All right, hey Ian, man, thank you so much for joining me today on our new comic book day picks for March 10th, 2021. I appreciate it, bro. Go ahead and share your social medias. How can people find you and the Team Nerd Herd?
Oh man, you can number 1, man, find the homies from Team Nerd Herd at www.teamnerdherd.com. Take you straight to our YouTube and sub it up, man. We're trying to get to that G. We're about 50 off from 800, man. So once we get to the G, we got some fire books, man.
Nice.
We got some great interviews coming up too, man. We got interviews with Ross Ritchie, John Boy's coming. We got Brian Hawkins. We got a bunch of cool stuff, man. And every Thursday we have our community show, which is our mail call show. We invite someone from the community to join up and join our motley crew. And then on Sundays we got our our top pick show, man, where we just talk about the books we love too, man, that we're gonna be picking up. And we got me and Fire Cell Comics got our cell phone balling show. That's gonna be happening on the 20th. Then we JR, and we got a bunch of shows, man. JR and Steve are gonna do their comic book binging, which you should join. You should actually join them, man.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah, you should
that
join
sounds
up
good.
with them, man.
What's that one about?
Where they just pick a title, man, and they read it and they just discuss it, live on on a show, man.
Oh, that sounds dope, dude. Yeah,
just one title. Everybody focuses on that title.
Shit, yeah.
Then they just talk, man. They just have a nerd fest. Big old nerd fest. Man.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. Oh man, I'm interested in something like that. I'll for sure hit them up and see what's going on for the next one. Yeah. And what about you? What about you? How can they hit up, Hood Rat Comics? What's going on with that?
Oh man, you guys can find me on Instagram, man, at Hood Rat Comics, Hoodrat_comics, man, and chill with me, man, and check out all my posts and what's going on with my daily life and my story, man. And not too interesting, man, but it's just fun stuff to do and stay connected with all the homies.
There you go. Well, again, Ian, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for watching and hanging out with me. Remember, I co-host the C-List Villains podcast. New episodes are released every Saturday on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. All right, you guys, until the next issue, deuces.
Deuces.